Good morning, students. Welcome to the next online video lecture on the model that is game theory. Today, in this video, that we are going to discuss the graphical method with having the order of the matrix is m into 2. In the previous video, that we have discussed the graphical method for the matrix, that is 2 into n matrix, that means 2 rows and n number of columns, that means more than 2 columns. Okay, here in this video we are going to discuss that is graphical method for the matrix m into 2. M means here more than 2 rows and 2 columns. Now these are the steps we need to follow while the solving the game theory problem by using graphical method for the matrix having m into 2 matrix. The procedures are same. Okay. Now I am going to explain these steps while solving the problem. Now take down the first problem here. The steps are same. Okay, for the 2 into n matrix. Now the problem is, this is the problem. Here we are having player A, player B. Player A having 4 strategies. We are having 4 number of rows, and player B having 2 strategies, so that B1 and B2 columns. Okay, 2 columns are there. So the matrix it is in the form of m into 2. Now, for this matrix, first we need to check whether the saddle point is exist or not. Okay, by using max mini value and minimax value. Okay, now please check it. The max mini value we are getting -1 and minimax value we are getting 2. Both these two values are not equal, then it indicates that saddle point is not exist. Now, in step 2, go for writing the optimal strategy for both the players A and B. That means SA matrix and SB matrix. The SA matrix, you can write how many strategies are there for the player A. 4 strategies, so that A1, A2, A3, A4, and similarly we are having 4 strategies. Then the probability is also the probability is also P1, P2, P3, P4. Now for the player B having 2 strategies, B1, B2. Next the probability is Q1, Q2. Now in the step 3, next you can go for the graph that you are going to explain in the step 3. Now here you can draw the vertical lines for the B1 and B2. Okay, here we are having 2 columns, so that B1 and B2. Okay, now two vertical lines B1, B2. Those 2 lines are separated by the probability lines, that is Q1 to Q2, that is 0 to 1. Okay, and you can take the scales by finding the minimum number and maximum number in the matrix. Okay, that is minimum number we are having in the matrix, that is -4, and maximum number is 5. According to your convenient, you can take the scale for the 2 vertical lines B1 and B2. Now these 2 lines are separated by the probability lines, that is right side Q2 equals to 0 and left side Q1 equals to 1, and that line is divided into 4 equal parts, so that 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 4. Now you can go for the plotting the graph here. Now see here in the problem, that is A1 row. Okay, A1 row, that is B1 is -2, B2 is 0. Just make it point on the B1 line, that is -2, and B2 line is, that is 0. Okay, join these two points and name that line, that is A1. Now for the A2 row, B1 it is 3, B2 is -1. Just point on the B1 vertical line, that is 3, and B2 is, that is B2 is -1 is there, so that on the B2 line point out the -1, I join those two lines and name that line is A2. And similarly do it for A3 row, B1 is -3, B2 is true. B1 is -3, just make it point on the B1 vertical line -3 and B2 line, that is 2, join those two points and name that line, it is A3. Okay, similarly do it for A4 row. Now here in the 2 into n matrix, that we are going to shade the region, that is lower region, lower envelope region, that we are going to shade. But here, that is m into 2 matrix, we need to shade the region, that is upper region. We can call it as upper envelope region. Okay, the shaded part we can call it as upper envelope region. This is for m into 2 matrix. In the 2 into n matrix, that we are going to choose the below region, that is you can call it as lower envelope region. Now it is m into 2 matrix, so that we have shaded upper envelope region. In that upper envelope region, we can choose the minimum point, that we can denote it by n, minimum point. Okay, in the 2 into n matrix, that we are going to choose the maximum point for the lower envelope region. Here it is m into 2 matrix, you can choose the minimum point for the upper envelope region, that is denoted by capital N here. For that point, please check it the point, that is we are getting 0.33, that we can call it as value of the game. Okay, for the n point, please check the, that is we are getting 0.33. okay, that is we can call it as value of the game. Now find out the two lines intersecting at the point n. Okay, what are those two lines? Just find out those two lines intersection at the point n, that is A2 and A3 lines are going to intersect at point n. A2 line and A3 line are going to intersect at point n. Now we can write the matrix here. Okay, those two lines are going to intersect, so that we can pick only A2 and A3 row. Okay, that is 3 -1 -3 2. Okay, we can pick the A2 and A3 row from the original matrix, and as usual write B1 B2. Now we are got the matrix is reduced into 2 into 2 matrix. Okay, after reducing, after bringing the matrix into 2 into 2 form, now directly go for applying the analytical method that you have discussed. Okay, by applying probability formula P1 P2 and Q1 Q2 formula. Okay, here that is P2, A2 means here probability is P2, and for A3 the probability is P3. Okay, like that we can apply the formula. Okay, now we are getting the values, that is P2 is 5 by 9, P3 is also 4 by 9, Q1 is 1 by 3, Q2 is 2 by 3. Next write down the optimal strategy. Okay, for the player A1 is 0. Okay, for the A2, that is Q2, sorry, for P2 that is 5 by 9, A3 4 by 9, and A4 is 0, because we have picked A2 and A3 only. Okay, now for the player B, write down, that is Q1 is 1 by 3 and Q2 is 2 by 3. Okay, next apply the value of the game formula AD minus BC divided by A plus D minus B plus C, that we are getting 1 by 3. After simplifying, we are getting the same value, that is value of the game 0.33. okay, this is the first problem. Now we can go for second problem here. Here also we are having 5 strategies for the player A and 2 strategies for the player B. So the it is this problem is comes under M into 2 matrix. Okay, more than 2 rows are there, so that M into 2 columns are there. Now find the first step, find out whether a saddle point is exist or not by checking, find outing the max mini value and mini max value. Here max mini value is -2 and mini max value is 7, so that both our values are not equal, so that the saddle point is does not exist. Next, go for writing the optimal strategies here. For player A, A1 to A5, so that write down the probabilities P1 to P5. For the player B, B1 B2 are there and probabilities write down Q1 Q2. Now similarly write down 2 vertical lines, that is B1 B2. Okay, now those 2 lines, vertical lines, are separated by the probability lines, that is Q1 to Q2. Q2 you can take it as 0 at the right side and Q1 left side, that is equals to 1. That line divided into equal number of 4 parts, 4 equal number of parts, 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 4. Now we can take the scale for those vertical lines by considering the minimum and maximum value. Minimum is -6 and maximum is 7. According to your convenience, you can take the scale for the both vertical lines B1 and B2. Now go for the plotting the graph here. For A1 row, B1 is -6 and B2 is 7. A1 is -6, B1 is -6, B2 is 7 for A1 row. B1 is -6, just point out -6 on the B1 vertical line, and for the B2 it is 7, so that B2 7, so that join those 2 lines and name that line is A1. Similarly do it for A2 row. B1 is 4, B2 is -5. B1 is 4, just mark the point on the 4 on the vertical line, B1 4, and next is B2 is -5, just -5, point out on the -5 on the B2 vertical line, join those 2 points and that line is name it as A2 line. Similarly do it for A3, A4, A5. Okay, now we need to find out the upper envelope region, that is whatever the shaded part is there, that we can call it as upper envelope region. Okay, for that upper envelope region, find out the minimum point. Okay, that is denoted by M here, that point is denoted by M. For that point, please check it value of the game, that is comes at exactly 1, I think. Okay, and for that point, tell me the 2 intersection lines here, that is A4 and A5 lines are going to be intersect at point M. Okay, for consider only A4 and A5 lines. Okay, and A4 and A5 lines, write down the B1 B2 matrix. Okay, now A4 and A5 is there, -2 5, A5 is 7, -6. You can pick those elements from the original matrix and B1 B2, so that apply the analytical method. Okay, and find out the values, that is P4 P5, and for B1 B2 Q1 Q2. Okay, we are getting P4 value is 13 by 20 and P5 is 7 by 20. Now Q1 you are getting 11 by 20 and Q2 is 9 by 20. And write down the optimal strategies matrix, that you are getting A1 to, for the player A1 to A5, we have picked only A4 and A5. Those 2 lines are intersect at the point M, so that write down the probabilities. P4 is 13 by 20 and P5 is 7 by 20, and rest of A1, A2, A3 you can take it as probability 0. And now for the player B, B1 we got Q1 equals 11 by 20 probability. For the B2 probability, Q2 got 19 by 20, so that the value of the game, apply the value of the game here, we are getting 23 by 20, that is after simplifying we are getting 1.15. okay, same value that you are getting at the graph from the graph value of the game also 1.15. Okay, these are this is for the m into 2 matrix. Okay, the graphical method for the matrix which is having m into 2 matrix, that means more than 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, thank you.